I'm Aurore. You're watching Sky Captain 5.
This is Cyberpunk 2077. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. We're taking a look at the 2.2 update, which I am assuming is going to be the last time I take a look at this on the Series S. I hope. It just seems like every time you call it a day with Cyberpunk, somehow another update appears. And there's more for me to take a look at and more for me to do within the game. Which, I'm not complaining, but, you kind of do a definitive review of something and you kind of want to move on from it as to say, did I kick the bottle or what happened there? Okay, anyways, I digress. It's time to talk about the 2.2 update. So we're going to be talking about the new features, and we're also going to be talking about, well, the general game as an overall package, because, again, this is like my definitive Series S review of Cyberpunk 2077. So first up, we've got new ways to change how our character looks. So they've given us a wide range of additional options and coloring things, such as new cool eye designs so that we can look all, I don't know, futuristic and whibbed and stuff like that. New colors, new adjustments. This update, it's all about personalization. It's all about changing how you look and, making the weird kind of cyberpunk character of your dreams for your adventure in the city of dreams. More like the city of nightmares, right? Anyways. No, it really has come a long way, this game, and it's something that I think is just a ton of fun to play. I absolutely love it, and I've spent countless hours playing, experiencing, and diving into the world that is Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm assuming most will have too that are diving into this, but if you haven't, this is your best excuse to dive in and take a look at what the world of Cyberpunk has to offer. Another change is you can now customize the look of certain vehicles. So you'll see there's basically like a paint drip thing above some of the vehicles. This means it's a vehicle that you can change the coloring of. Now, I should also mention what's really cool about this is that when you do change the coloring of these vehicles, it can actually help you evade the police, which is really cool. So this is one of the ones that has the coloring option. Pretty cool, pretty snazzy. I like the blue. I think everybody does. That's why that guy stopped behind us and wanted to appreciate the view, unless he just wanted to appreciate the style that I got going on. So, yeah, anyways, from the left on the D-pad, you're able to pop up a coloring wheel, again, on vehicles that this supports. Let's do it's already blue. Let's do like a bit of a pinkish purple. So you can do LT for the outer ring, and then you can do RT to, well, I guess by default it's on, color 1, and then you press RT to change to color 2. And we get enough of a color range. Yeah, it's the color range there. And then you can do RT again, and you can change the highlights or the headlights of your vehicles. So you can have a different color going on there. It just kind of matches your stuff. You can also save your tones to the right-hand side, which is cool. And if you are on, say, color 1 or color 2, you can press right on the D-pad there, and you can adjust the kind of brightness level of the color you've chosen. You apply it, you wait a cool second, and your vehicle will magically change the styling and the coloring. Let's get out and appreciate what this has to offer visually. So yeah, now I've got a... Oh, that actually looks really good. I colored something orange and like green earlier, and it didn't look quite as satisfying as this color range does. I mean, it's not quite the aesthetic I would go for in a day-to-day, but, for a video game where we're driving around for a few minutes, it's not bad looking. Where... What? Don't worry, it'll change when I get inside. It must cost a lot of money to replace this type of vehicle when it gets damaged. You know what I mean? Could you imagine, like, the tech you have to, like, the cost of tech to replace in your vehicle nowadays, and then if you amplify that by being like, oh, the whole outer skin of your car changes. Do you imagine how much of a pain that would be, and how expensive that would be? Be like, oh yeah, you got a rock on the the side there. It destroyed the whole LED pattern range. None of it works anymore. You'd be like, are you kidding me? But that would be life in the future, and it would be a cyberpunk dystopian situation, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, those are kind of the two key options that have changed. As I said, it's a personalization update. It's about making the experience that you love a little bit better for you. And it's not necessarily wildly revamping things. They have fixed some stuff, and I have noticed a little bit more like NPC combat density going on too. Another really cool thing is you can pause with your best buddies, click in both the right sticks, and the photo mode has now been advanced, so you can actually do things like add NPCs into the scene. So you can have, you know, Judy up here living her best life, physics clothing on, and she could be smiling. We should probably turn off the depth of field so you can actually see her enjoying things. Pose knuckle sandwich with a... Oh, that's my character having a pose here. With a katana, yeah, facial expression, charm, look at the camera. Yes, always looking at me. Yes, charm, fury. He's angry about what's going on. And she's leaping into action. Literally. Literally. Then we could add, I don't know, we could throw a songbird in here. So songbird is inside of me, or more like inside of my katana. And this is just for example what's going on. So it's like, you know, I'm sure people will have a lot more fun with the photo mode. I don't know, I'm having some entertainment with this. Anyways, you can now do all kinds of crazy cool shots and setups for your cyberpunk world. Oh, wish this wasn't on the Series S. I'd grab a photo shot of this. Oh, that is so funny. Oh, wow. Anyways, that's kind of the second big part of this update, which is entertaining to me. All right, let's start cutting these guys up, I guess. Yeah. So, anyways, Cyberpunk's fantastic. It's a lot of fun, filled to the brim with activities and things for me to do and see, and enemies to shoot, and unlimited activities. I think my save's like 80 hours or something like that. Utterly ridiculous. We've got two graphical modes here on the Series S, which is great. A couple graphics settings you can choose to. And we're going to switch over to the quality mode. So quality mode is a dynamic 1440p at 30 FPS. So this is if you want to enjoy the better visual capability of the Series S. This is your mode. I don't know if I really love the lower frame rate, but, you know, 1440p, it looks nice and clean and sharp. Well, as sharp as the Series S is going to look, am I right? But, yeah, this is kind of your way to enjoy that option. There's FSR is applied, so it's going to look fuzzy. Nothing you can do about that until we get rid of FSR, but if you're on Xbox, that's what you're stuck with. And HDR support, and we're on performance mode. So performance mode is a majestic, dynamic 1080p at 60 FPS. You can definitely notice a resolution drop, and depending on how crazy the scene gets, your resolution will drop a little bit further. So yeah, it's still for the Series S, and for how demanding this game can be, it's got a pretty good level, like the full geometry, everything like that's here, and I mean, it's not too bad to look at on the Series S. It wouldn't be my preferred way to play Cyberpunk, but, you know, it kind of gets the job done, as to say, and it allows you to experience the magic and the scope of, well, Cyberpunk action any way you want to, which is magical. So, yeah, I would say at this point, they're pretty much done with updates, like we were kind of saying. But then again, I think like a year ago I literally did my definitive review of this on Series S and all the platforms, and then, you know, I spent all that time doing like PS5 Pro videos, and then they're like, hey, we've got another update. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're back in the saddle again for Cyberpunk, which is kind of funny. And who's to say in another year from now we won't randomly have another update or review going on. I'm pretty sure they're very focused on the next Cyberpunk at this point. Like, they're, you know, that's in the works and stuff. But I will always come back to do major update video type things for Cyberpunk across the experiences, just because it's a game I thoroughly love and enjoy. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So what else is new? I guess I would say, if you haven't checked out Cyberpunk in a long time, they've fixed most of the issues and problems and things that people were having. They have added the frame rate option for the Series S side of things. They have personalization has increased a lot. We've got the big current gen, or well, at the time it was next gen update, and that allowed us to enjoy the magic of basically, I guess you would say, amped up visuals, and then the whole overhaul of like the police system. So it's kind of like Grand Theft. Police will get mad at you and come after you when you're doing terrible things in the world, which you often do. There's also now combat in vehicles. There's so many numerous things. The big expansion, Phantom Liberty, which I highly recommend if you are just playing Cyberpunk for the first time. You should definitely play it with the expansion, because the expansion weaves itself into the main story. It's kind of a... Personally, it's like a must-have experience. I feel like you're just missing out on like a big chunk of the game by not playing the expansion. That is how good and how expansive the expansion is for enhancing your experience when playing Cyberpunk 2077. Specifically on the Series S. No, it really is. It's a big part of the experience, and I wouldn't recommend really missing out on that sort of thing. I think you will definitely genuinely appreciate what it has to offer, gameplay-wise, as you go about in this massive city, engaging with everything that this has to offer. But it really is quite amazing, the amount of detail here in this world and how it all comes alive here. You know, we've got things like extensive skill trees, engaging narrative, branching narrative where your choices will directly impact your experience. Great replay value, doing multiple different playthroughs to make different choices or decisions and see how things play out, or using your past saves to do so. Extensive side quests and activities you can jump into. Those will likely always surprise you, because you'll never be sure what kind of weird thing that you're gonna go on, and, you know, romances and I guess you would say romantic side plots and companion missions. And you can hang out with your bae now. You can call your bae over to the you know, your local apartment, and you guys can hang out, which was an interesting update, to say the least. I wanted to go the other way. And then you can also now, trying to think of the other big update that was part of it. You could ride the metro for some reason. I think the metro riding is stupid, but some people are really into that. There's all these different places you can go visit, all of these different clubs, all of these different characters to meet, all these different activities to take part in. The game is ridiculously expansive, honestly. It's one of the best experiences I think you can have in gaming. Like, it really is something that is so magical and distinctly exciting, and I think you're missing out if you don't check this out and at least play it and see what it has to offer, because it is so good, and, you know, quite the redemption story, has to say. Is this like a weird pizza type vehicle? Yeah, and I think you'll love crafting your own personal like V and making those choices on how your character is and acts, and then of course the integrations with the characters you meet along the way. I've mentioned, you know, this game having great performances, but on top of that, you've also got things where, you know, the main story itself follows you with this guy, Johnny Silverhand, and the two of you basically are stuck with one another to a degree, and, you know, that's Keanu Reeves, and it's a great performance there, very cool, and that whole builds up into a big cluster of madness, and yeah, there's almost like too much to do in this game if you think about it. Like, the map is absolutely massive. Like, it's huge, this main area, then there's like an outer area, and I can't get over how ridiculously big it is. Like, it's kind of scary how large it is and how... Like, I think I've seen basically everything personally. Like, I've done all the missions and everything on this save, so I've seen, like, every inch of it. But I'm still always looking for, like, something kind of new to dive into and do in this city, because it's so beautiful. I've always wanted a game like this. You know, Cyberpunk City of my dreams, that's to say, but... You know, I always wanted a game this kind of expansive and large and filled with things that I could enjoy and experience, and it's not bad here on the Series S. You know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's at the level of, like, you know, the Series X or the PS5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro and stuff, but it's not a terrible way to see what this game has to offer and play it and enjoy it. Especially with 2 graphics modes and stuff, which is something the Series S usually gets overlooked on. That's really, really quite cool. Seriously, like, it is something where open world games, the Series S usually gets shafted most of the time. So it is, to me, it's an appreciated thing when they actually do allow us to dive in and have the full style and scope on the Series S and not feel like we're missing out on anything. Oh my, what happened? Oh, what's going on? It's a never-ending thrill ride. Not to mention all the quirky, weird, like, side missions and side activities that you can find yourself doing, and... Yeah. A little hidden stuff, too. Like, it's got the open world things that you expect, but they also... They do genuinely try to break the mold on a lot of stuff. Like, this is mature, intense, adult, visceral gameplay and action, and you know, it's right on there caliber wise with like The Witcher and stuff, obviously, but it's a first person role playing game. And how many, like, you know, first person shooters or role playing shooter games actually give you this amount of gameplay? Not much. I think you can usually ride this, can you not? It's on. Why can't I ride this? Usually you can ride the roller coaster. I was gonna come up here and be all, like, snazzy and jump in the roller coaster and go for, like, a crazy ride, but... I don't know if it's just not working at the moment or what, but anyways. Yeah, there goes that plan. I really do think if you come in and you play this game on the Series S, you'll like it a lot. It's really, really quite fun. There's so many surprises and things you'll do, and I think you'll be blown away by just, like, the pure length of it. Like, this is a very, very long game. Like, there is a lot to do in it, but it doesn't feel too long. Like, it uses all that time effectively, and you know, as I said, kind of 80 hours in, and I'm still kind of... I wish there was more to do, even. Like, I've more than gotten my thrill and value out of it, but they've definitely left me kind of craving and wanting that next game when that comes, and I can't wait to see what they do with that project and see how it ends up, because... Yeah, Cyberpunk has been such a pleasure to play over the years. I just can't believe it's been this many years since it came out. It kind of blows my mind, because I remember it releasing and, you know, all the thoughts people have on it and stuff. And now here we are, many, many, many years on, and I've done so much with it, and checked out so much, and hopefully gotten people into the game because I love it so much, and hopefully that kind of enthusiasm for it carries through to other people that are kind of looking at it, because, like, it's really, really good. The amount of stupid stuff you can do in this, fantastic. It's, I think, a pretty impressive juggernaut of storytelling, gameplay, and action. And I think you too will be blown away by it, even if you play it here on the Series S. It may even motivate you to play it on a more complex and advanced platform too, in terms of visual fidelity. But the fact that, again, it's like actually giving us a 60 FPS mode for the open world is like, thank you, CD Projekt Red, for delivering for Series S. I think that's fantastic.